Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
Forget the time circuits and flux capacitors. The story of John DeLorean's namesake vehicle could make a movie in itself. His revolutionary stainless steel sports car, with its gull-wing doors and V6 engine, struggled through adversity. Though the company would eventually fail, the car cemented its place in pop culture history with a starring role in 1985's
Back to the Future.
Just as John DeLorean left a successful career as an executive at General Motors to live out his dream, Dave Swingle walked away from 30 years at Motorola to pursue his.
My son, even at the back then when we started driving it around, he turned to me on one of these trips we were on and he said, you know, this is really kind of a look at me car.
I thought you were going to say he said where we're going.
We don't need roads.
We haven't quite figured out how to make that happen yet.
Oh, okay, all right.
Together with his wife Julie, the Swingles opened DeLorean Motor Company Midwest in Crystal Lake, the region's only DeLorean repair and restoration shop.
We're a dealership for the DeLorean Motor Company in Houston, Texas. They have a warehouse in Houston, or in Humble, Texas, actually. It's about a 40,000 square foot building of pretty much just DeLorean parts.
DMC Midwest's business comes from all over the country.
This is kind of the barnyard car, or barn find car without the barn. And this one was parked outside in northern Indiana for at least the last 5 years.
And look at this, their time circuits are just hanging out. Gotta tuck this away.
We towed it in here a few weeks ago. One of the first missions was to chase the squirrel out of the engine.
Now, what year was that squirrel from? Do you know?
I don't know. I would suspect he was a 2010 squirrel.
Okay, all right.
With the skills of lead technician Mike McElhatton, DMC Midwest can take a neglected DeLorean and make it look like this.
So do you get tired of working on the same car over and over and over and over again?
Some stuff can get to be redundant, but you know, the plus side is you get to be really good at it.
Come on.
Nowadays, the biggest thing is probably the fuel system, and it has a K-Jet mechanical fuel injection. The system does really not respond well to sitting, and most of these cars over time have sat for a period of time.
Contrary to popular opinion, the DeLorean itself does not travel through time.
Just boxes upon boxes of parts. No flux capacitors, though. I haven't found one yet. I'm still looking.
But the Back to the Future trilogy keeps plenty of curious customers coming through the door, and the legacy of the Swingles' favorite car very much alive.
Without Back to the Future, you would not have the recognition of this car that you do. So people who are purists and say, oh, well, we hate Back to the Future because it's not about the DeLorean anymore. Well, I say that no one would know the DeLorean if Back to the Future had not come out.
Now the question is, can I get it up to 88 by the end of the driveway? What do you think?